right, we'll go ahead and get started. Once again, we are thrilled that you have joined today's session on networking and finding a mentor. And remember, please be advised that today's session is being recorded. Now, before we dive into our topic, we would like to take a brief moment to formally introduce ourselves. My name is Guadalupe Feria, and I serve as one of the Associate Directors of Career Development and Education at the Career Center.
And I'm Lisa Ghanem, Associate Director, Career Development and Industry Engagement for engineering, but we can do some other things too. So if you're in another area, we're happy to help.
And during today's presentation, we will provide you with an overview of networking and mentoring, discuss best practices for finding a mentor, asking for mentorship, and how to maximize networking and mentoring to benefit your overall career success. First, let's discuss networking and mentoring. Networking is essentially defined as the process of building and maintaining relationships with people who can share career insights, industry knowledge, and/or opportunities such as internships, jobs, research, or referrals. Networking also involves connecting with others who share similar interests, goals, or values, and you're developing meaningful relationships over time. And when you think about it, everyone has experience with networking. As an example, you have been networking since you were in elementary, middle school, high school, and even in college. You have sought out individuals who share similar interests to you. You build friendships and you also establish mutual beneficial relationships. Think about when you first entered college and you attended the new student orientation. Maybe perhaps you didn't know anyone, but you utilized your networking skills to connect with others who share the same interests as you. So you do have experience with networking. Now, in college, networking can look a little bit differently. It could look like connecting with a UCSD alumni who is now working in the industry in an entry-level career, or perhaps has been in the field for 10 years plus. It could look like connecting with employers at a career fair or attending an employer information session at the Career Center, or even connecting with professors, TAs, or peer mentors in student organizations. Now, on the other hand, mentoring is an ongoing relationship where a more experienced individual may provide career guidance, feedback, encouragement, and support with your overall career goals. And a prime example of mentoring is a full-time professional who is perhaps connecting with a UCSD senior who is seeking to break into as an example, tech industry. And that full-time professional is mentoring them. Maybe perhaps they meet once a month, maybe they meet every 3 months. And during that conversation, the mentee can ask questions regarding the industry. What are some skills and experiences from the mentor's perspective that are very beneficial to have? So it is a mutual beneficial relationship, but essentially when it comes to mentoring, the mentor is able to provide valuable career guidance to help empower you to make decisions in your career. Now let's discuss why networking and mentoring matter for career success. First of all, when you think about it, who you know can help you access the hidden job market. Now, for those of you who don't know what the hidden job market is, basically the hidden job market is essentially job opportunities that may not be publicly advertised on job boards such as LinkedIn, Indeed. Instead, some jobs within the hidden job market may be filled internally through referrals, or even some may be learned through networking, which is why it's very important that you master how to leverage networking to your advantage to stay informed of opportunities that may arise in different kinds of companies, whether it's an internship, part-time role, or full-time role. Additionally, mentoring and networking can help you build career confidence, help you gain clarity about a career path, or even navigating the industry. As an example, maybe you are a political science student, but you've decided to change career pathways and now you're interested in going into medical school. Networking and mentoring is going to be very beneficial to help you better understand the nuances when it comes to changing career pathways. Let's say as another example, you are a recent grad and you're looking for an entry-level career to jumpstart your journey. It's going to be very important that you network with UCSD alumni to learn more about their experiences and how they landed their full-time role in their current positions. Another example is it can also help students make informed decisions about their career. For any of my first generation college students, you're the first in your family navigating college, navigating professional spaces. Mentorship really plays a pivotal role in ensuring that you receive essential career guidance and advice that you can apply in professional settings. And lastly, it can truly provide you with long-term career support. Networking and mentoring can ensure that you have allies in the workplace, individuals who can advocate for you and connect you to opportunities as well to help you advance in your career. Now, before seeking a mentor, it's important that you are able to answer these three questions. First and foremost, you should be able to answer, where are you in your career journey and where do you want to go? So this will require you to do some inner reflection work to better understand the type of mentoring needs that you will require. So as an example for that particular question, maybe your goal is to break into a tech industry. Maybe your goal is to break into an industry that perhaps your major is not directly aligned with. Maybe you're looking to switch careers, or even gain a promotion. The second question that you should be asking yourself is, what do you want to learn or achieve? As an example, are you looking to learn more about a particular career pathway? Maybe you're curious about graduate school, whether that's a master's program or a PhD program in your field. Or perhaps you're looking to gain a technical skill or a soft skill, such as leadership or communication skills. The third question that you should be asking yourself is, what kind of mentor do you need to help you accomplish your goals? So for questions number 1 and number 2, will you need an industry mentor? And an industry mentor that refers to a professional who is very seasoned and experienced in their field, who has been working, has quite a few years under their belt. That would be an industry mentor. Do you need to get connected with an alumni mentor? So an alumni mentor, that could be a UCSD alumni who is perhaps, maybe they are 5 years in their current position as a full-time professional. Or do you need support from a peer mentor? So peer mentors are really great in the case that maybe you want to get a better understanding of what it's like based on their internship experience or their volunteer experiences, or maybe you just need that peer support. So it's really important that before you seek a mentor, that you're able to authentically answer these three questions, from there, you'll be able to better understand what kind of mentorship you need and who would be the most appropriate person to reach out to in those instances. So now that we've discussed that, let's talk more about where to find mentors. Now, the short answer is everywhere, but I'm going to give you some concrete examples of how you can get started. So first and foremost, we have quite a few resources available through the Career Center and UCSD. As an example, Triton's Connect is a networking and mentoring platform. It's an official platform for UCSD specifically, where students can get connected with UCSD alumni, staff, and other professionals. So we highly encourage all students to create an account and start networking with UCSD alumni. Additionally, through employer events, we host employer events every month at the Career Center where we invite different kinds of employers to provide information sessions, and we have different types of styles. Sometimes we'll have a panel where they discuss more about the different kinds of opportunities that are available. Some will disclose more about the mission and the values, and will also keep you abreast of the kinds of opportunities that are available. So employer events, information sessions, and panels are a really great way for you to gain information, but also towards the end, there is maybe an opportunity for you to connect with employers face to face. Additionally, through the Career Center, we have career fairs. We have an upcoming career fair this spring where we invite hundreds of employers who are looking specifically to recruit UCSD students for internships, part-time roles, and full-time roles. So we encourage you to take advantage of that opportunity. Moving on to on campus. So on campus, you have access to your professors and your TAs. If maybe perhaps you're a student who is interested in going into academia, maybe you're interested in pursuing a master's or a PhD program, I highly encourage you to connect with your faculty and TAs. Usually TAs are the ones that are currently going in their graduate program, whereas faculty members, they've already earned their doctorate degree. So I highly encourage you to get connected with them to learn more about that process. But additionally, faculties also have industry connections. So that would be another opportunity for you to tap into. In addition to that, you have us, career coaches. We are well connected with employer partners and industry partners, and we also have access to your academic advisors, your department advisors, your college advisors, and staff on campus. So utilize these resources to your advantage. And then, of course, professional student organizations. That's a really great way for you to network, but also get connected with peer mentors. Maybe perhaps someone within the professional student organization that you're a part of, maybe you really admire their leadership style or their communication style, or maybe you know of a peer that just recently landed a really competitive internship. It would be great for you to connect with them, to network, and maybe even request mentorship if you're looking to learn more from them. And then lastly, we have your external network. So external networks, that would include LinkedIn. We encourage you to update your LinkedIn profile and also join the UCSD alumni page for you to stay connected with alumni. Additionally, if you are a student who is currently in an internship, your internship supervisor is another great example of someone who could potentially mentor you in the industry. Additionally, there are professional events such as a meetup or eventship. And then, of course, you have conferences, webinars, and professional associations that you could join and find mentors as well. Now let's discuss how to ask for mentorship. First of all, you want to have some sort of connection point. This could be, as an example, maybe shared university. So you are connecting with someone who is a UCSD alumni. That would be a very strong connection point. Maybe perhaps you're connecting with someone who shares the same industry that you're looking to break into or jumpstart your career in. Maybe you're going to connect with someone who shares the same professional interest or professional experiences as you. The second thing you want to do is specify the reason for reaching out to them. So you want to make sure that you address why them? Why are you reaching out to them specifically? What about them do you admire? Is it their leadership skills? Is it their years of experience? Is it their background? Is it their current position? So you really want to be very specific in terms of the reason for reaching out to them. Thirdly, you want to start small with a low commitment request. So therefore, that I would encourage you to invite them to a brief conversation to further seek their advice. And then the fourth step is you always want to maintain a level of professionalism and always conclude with gratitude. So some really quick best practices for asking for mentorship is you always want to keep the connection professional. And then secondly, you want to avoid being transactional and instead focus on building an authentic and meaningful relationship. I would say the most successful mentorships are the ones where a student is really seeking to learn from that professional, whether it's learning about their experiences, learning about the skills that have enabled them to land that particular career, or just learn about their career journey. So those are the most successful ones where there is shared learning, and there's also it's built on an authentic relationship and not transactional. So instead of asking, will you be my mentor? We encourage you to say instead, could I ask you for 20 minutes of advice on how you navigated your first role in X, Y, or Z? So maximizing mentorship, let's discuss some best practices. First and foremost, as I previously alluded to, set intentions. That is going to be very important. So think about what are you hoping to gain from meeting with your mentor? Secondly, always come prepared with questions. So what are you hoping to learn or take away from that conversation? Remember that time is very valuable. So if you only have, let's say, 30 minutes with the CEO of a company who has agreed to mentor you, what are the questions that you are going to ask her during those 30 minutes? You want to make sure that you do maximize your time with your mentor. Additionally, we encourage you to share updates or progress. That could be sharing your accomplishments, challenges, or goals. Sharing updates or progress will allow you to have a continuous relationship with our mentor. Remember that mentorship, it's an ongoing relationship. It's not a one-time ask. Therefore, by sharing updates, sharing your accomplishments or your goals, it will enable you to keep that mentorship relationship alive. Additionally, we always recommend that you apply the advice and report back. So let's say that you had a conversation with your mentor and you were sharing about your experience in the job search process and how perhaps maybe you've had a little bit of challenges in finding jobs, and your mentor gave you some recommendations of um, how to organize your resume to have your resume stand out to recruiters. It's important that you do apply the advice that they are sharing with you and report back. They want to know that the advice that they're giving you is is taking effect and that it is having an impact on you. And then lastly, always respect your mentor's time. So if you've went ahead and scheduled a 30-minute Zoom meeting with your mentor, you want to make sure that you do keep your meeting brief to those 30 minutes because your mentors, for the most part, will be working professionals. And so we want to be very mindful of their time. Fantastic. Now, I also want to share with you all a framework called Personal Board of Directors. Essentially, the Personal Board of Directors is a framework that is very strategic that allows you to curate a group of 4 to 7 trusted mentors, peers, or advisors who can provide you with diverse perspectives to guide your professional development. And so, with your personal board of directors, that could include different kinds of mentors. So, as an example, a sponsor mentor could be a senior professional who advocates specifically for your career advancement. A skills-based mentor helps you develop a specific or a soft skill. A peer mentor is someone perhaps who you admire, who is at the same level as you in your career. This could look like a connector, someone who knows everybody and can help you get connected with others, or a cheerleader mentor who's really focused on celebrating your success and provides encouragement and support. We recommend that you curate your board of directors to help you meet your specific career goals.
Now we're going to switch and we'll go through and give you some concrete examples and some elements that you might be able to screen capture that you can utilize as you move forward with building your networks. So building a mentor network, it's not a single mentor, right? So you're building a network for identity, for confidence, for belonging, for academic guidance, for technical guidance, for career navigation, for peer advice. It's all of the above. It's as you navigate the world, as you navigate new experiences, as you navigate your careers, as you navigate life, as you navigate even a professional development plan for the first time. So no single mentor can meet every need, and not every mentor has the information that you're going to need for the next checkpoint. So by creating that cabinet of individuals that will support you in this, you're creating a support network with different strengths where you're getting the full breadth of life through somebody who has some hindsight, who can help you navigate as you're just venturing down that path for the first time. Select individuals with expertise, those who know a bit more, who are experienced or slightly ahead of the curve in your knowledge. For instance, if you're in a club, you're going to have some students who are within the club who've been there for a couple of years, who might be the team lead. You now are learning from them as they might have a few more classes under their belt. They're helping you navigate how to become sort of the director of the project itself, or how to navigate within the experience of that project that you're building. You may also have individuals, even your parents, who might be in the same field. Maybe they have more experience in being able to help you navigate through some of the homework situations. So it's not just one area of your careers, it's all aspects of building that network. So some of the examples of who to reach out to, we're going to go a little bit more in depth. So career navigation mentor, alumni, working in a role you're curious about. One of the ways that you can do this is through Triton's Connect. Triton's Connect is an alumni networking group, much like Facebook, but for alumni, where they are indicating if they are mentors or want a mentor, if they want to just have one conversation. So that might be the first place that you start the connection. You can also do it on LinkedIn by going into UC San Diego to see who is connected to UC San Diego, and then also look at your degree to see who might be in your degree within that area. And we're not going to go into it today, but navigate LinkedIn and take a look at all the different resources that are available. You'll be surprised to see that you can also look at maybe a trajectory of a former graduate within your same degree and see where they started and see how they ended up in their careers. Additionally, internship or part-time supervisor, if you're doing an internship within the role of within a new role, you might be able to ask them questions about how they navigated their career. How did they go from internship into a position? Or what are some best practices that can help you navigate that element? Additionally, academic or technical mentor, faculty member, or research PI, they can give you insights into the industry that maybe they have from their own experience that you might not be able to see. They might be able to give you some ideas of what aspects of the career might be viable for you that you haven't even thought about. A TA or lab manager might be able to help you navigate some of the nuances of maybe a new process, how to maybe engage in a new programming language, and also give you some ideas of how to get a networking group together to do study, to kind of work out some of the nuances that you haven't been able to get through. There's also upper division students in your major or club. So a lot of these areas, you probably already have resources too. Industry insight mentor, so guest speaker. So through Handshake, that is our networking software that we use for making career advising appointments, but also for networking with employers who are going to be presenting events. This is where we have our career advising sessions as well as our career fairs. But there's also an opportunity for employers to post, uh, face-to-face presentations, virtual presentations that are available to you that might be information on how to get an internship with them or best practices for a resume. So what you can do now is start following companies that you like so that you can see when they post opportunities to network that are going to be on campus or even virtually throughout, throughout the year and throughout all the different seasons and quarters. Professional, you connect on with LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn, there's also groups you can connect with. So if there's a specialty area that you are very interested in, by finding one of these groups, you now have access to those people who specialize in that community of thought or the industry that you want to know more about. So in LinkedIn, you have about 40 groups that you can connect with. And so some of them might be technical in nature, some of them might be networking in nature, but there's a lot of different ways and resources to connect with. Company mentor from a case competition or project. So maybe you've done a competition. Maybe you go to this competition and you meet somebody while you're there, and they're really impressed with what you did in that competition. You can take that individual and keep that relationship going by saying, this is how I expanded out on this concept of what we did within the competition, and this is how I've grown it. And now you're building that relationship over time. So it kind of carries throughout all these other sections as well. Academic and technical mentor, faculty member, TA lab manager, upper division. So near peer mentor, recent graduate from your university, student leader and club or organization, peer who recently completed an internship, even friends who sit next to you. Maybe they've gone through something, have experienced something a little bit more, might have better understanding or grasp of the subject matter. All of those students who are in your classrooms now are going to be your networking group in the future. 5 years from now, after you graduate, where are they working? Maybe one of these individuals is working in a company that you would love to work for. You can reach out to them because maybe you've had several classes with each other, and now you have this great opportunity to connect with somebody that you know that is in this location. So as you're in school right now, really create a LinkedIn network that just encompasses the people who are currently right by you. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, you never know. But it's not too hard to reach out to somebody and say, I don't know if you remember me, but we had this class together and I really appreciated something that we experienced together. And I noticed that you're working at this company. Tell me a little bit about it. What do you think about it? I mean, are you really enjoying your experience there? And, I'm really interested in applying. Would you be able to meet with me? So it's just as easy as having a natural conversation with an old friend. Support and prospective mentor, staff member involved in, student success programs, coach, advisor, or program coordinator, professional who shares or understands aspects of your experience. So your mentor network will change over time, and that's a good thing. It grows with you. It grows with your needs. It grows, with your careers. It grows with your life. A mentor can happen in your church, in a skateboarding group. It can happen in a book club. It can happen in the industry gatherings that you attend. So reaching out to potential mentors, we're going to here are some sample scripts that you can use. We've listed the engagement type, who you're reaching out to, and the sample starter script. These are not meant to be final, but just some ideas of how to go about it a little bit. So for campus resources, it might be career advisors, faculty, program staff. So when you go into Handshake, you might be interested in setting up a one-on-one appointment with one of us as a career advisor, but you're like, I don't know how to do this. How am I going to go about this? So, a lot of times we get students who come in for an appointment. They're like, I've never done this before. I hope this is all right. And yes, by all means, most of us in career services, we're very people centric. Our job here is to make you feel comfortable, make you feel welcome to explore what it is that you want to explore. So ask away. And it can be as simple as I'm exploring career options related to my major. Could I get some perspective on how students prepare for this field? Or I have no idea what I want to do. Can you help me look at it from another perspective? It's okay. Whatever you want to ask, just ask it. Sometimes we might have some questions for you to help figure out where we're going to navigate to give you those answers. But, with questions comes answers, comes the conversation, and you can navigate through it together. So, additionally, in an alumni and professional engagement, you're reaching out to those professionals through Triton's Connect or through LinkedIn. I'm a student exploring careers in the field and would value hearing how to navigate your path. This might even be in person at one of the networking meetings where I'm really interested and fascinated with what your company presented today. Can I ask you a few questions, a little more in depth about maybe what a role looks like in your company? So peer and near peers, upper class students, peer mentors. I heard you recently interned at this company. How was it? What did you do in your resume that set you apart? So just be curious. Really, even if you approach it from the perspective of who am I going to meet today? What are they, what is their background? So maybe you're at a networking event. Oh, hi, I'm Lisa. I'm new to this, networking group. I'm very curious about this industry and currently studying at UC San Diego. What's your background? Where do you work? It's really a conversation and trying to keep it as natural as possible so that relationship can really have a nice foundation and comfort and community. So don't forget event and guest speakers, and don't forget structured mentor programs that are aligned to assist you. We have several that get announced throughout the quarter systems and through your various communities of education. Make sure you pursue some of these things. The more you engage in connectivity, the more chances you're going to have in meeting the right people. And another thing that I like to say is in the Career Center career fairs that we have, if a company shows up all 4 years that you're here and you go to the career fair and show up at their table each and every time they're here, they're going to get to know your face. They're going to get to know that you're really interested in the company. So pretty much your job is to really just connect and let them know that you're interested. I like to say that networking is and also applying for jobs is like dating for your work marriage. So how do you let them know that you're interested? Show up. communicate, connect. So every conversation counts. Growing your circle is about curiosity. It's not about perfection. It's just about really getting to know each other. And you're going to have a lot better opportunity to connect with these individuals by making those connections a little more organically. So once you meet with them, you reflect and turn advice into an action. So once you have your mentor set up, once the conversation leads to the next level, now you can start building on that real growth and you can pause and reflect as things start happening. So after the meeting, ask yourself, what did I learn? So what's one action I can take that I learned from this conversation and then grow it so that I can really start growing myself? And what follow-up is appropriate? Did they say that maybe I should join a club? Did they say that maybe I should do a competition? Did they say that maybe I should take a leadership role? And if that is the case, once I do it, I should follow up with an email to them and let them know about the experience of what has happened, what I learned, being thankful and grateful for their advice and leading me to this realization about, yourself, about myself, about what has grown within the understanding. So small steps moving forward each and every day grow into large leaps and bounds. So, updating a resume, exploring a new role can move you forward when they're intentional. And little steps, little by little, every day grow into really big movements. So, reflect to turn advice into action. Some examples, what you learned. I need experience, not just a class. What do you do next? Apply for one internship, a lab, or a project. So my resume needs clearer impact. They said that I didn't have enough information that really shows pipeline process as it relates to the type of work that I'm trying to get into. I did talk about some of the big picture items, but I didn't show them exactly what it was that I did within the project. So I need to mention it. So you revise your resume, and now you can go back to the employer and say, tell me what you think. Did this work? You also have us in the Career Center where we can also help you with some of this stuff. When you're not getting the receptibility of, hey, no one's calling me because of my resume, we can maybe take a look at it and diagnose it and help you get to the next level. So um, maybe in an industry, a field values networking. So for instance, in architecture, it's all about networking. In fact, in order to become a licensed architect, there's a certain component of networking that has to be done in order to get some hours. So there's the community engagement piece, there's volunteering piece, and also by volunteering, a lot of times you put yourself on the map for the community of people that you're engaging with. So make sure that you're engaging with the right community resources, both on campus and off campus. A lot of people have attended other colleges, and so they may not be coming to the campus to meet UC San Diego students. They may be just going to the industry networking events, and by going out into these other areas, you're getting to know more and more people, and they're getting to know your face. I always recommend that it's really great to volunteer for an organization that you would like to be connected to. And I always say volunteer to check people in. If you are volunteering to check people in, you're getting to know what their name is, what company they work for, and they're seeing you as the official greeter for the event as they come in. So now, if you do that several times in a row, not only are you meeting the people, but you're also probably meeting the board of directors that participate in this industry. And now you're really making some connections. So, what you learned, I should explore before deciding. So schedule an information interview. Take a look at job descriptions within the industry that are very similar in nature and compare them. Are they all looking for the same thing, or are there varieties of a theme? It's really about taking a look at the various elements that may have been told to you. And then skills matter more than titles. So enroll in a relevant course or feature examples of skills used in an industry-focused project. But also skills matter more than titles in that what if you were part of a club and you did a competition and you won that competition? You didn't have a title maybe, but you did participate as being a member of that team that won that role. And by putting yourself on the map for a competition, you now can be seen and your name is now published. And sometimes in these competitions, companies will go to those individuals who have won the competition and hire them for the next internship. And now you have a relationship building opportunity. So reflection turns conversations into progress. So after the meeting, close the loop. Best practices for following up include send a thank you email within 24 to 48 hours of your initial meeting, of your follow-up meeting. A lot of times you can send an email, but if you sent a card in the mail, a lot of times that can get posted up on the bulletin board. If you're in a creative industry, and you illustrate, you can send a fresh illustration that might have a visual that's associated with the conversation. Maybe you talked about trees, or maybe you met in person under a tree, and maybe you sketched the cafe where you met. There's a lot of different ways to really make an emotional connection with an individual. So, know that being creative can also have its value because what you're always trying to do is create an element of surprise, an element of awe and appreciation. And, everyone loves a little gift of even just a thoughtful a memento of the situation. So, and that keeps them fresh in your mind. And it also gives them a little joy that they can reflect on, and they'll think of it fondly. Just think about times when you've received a nice little thank you that had a lot more personality to it. So also make sure you check in. Hey, just wanted to follow up, see how things are going, wanted to catch you up on what I'm doing. Just thought I'd let you know, I've been making some really great progress thanks to you and really appreciate it. And maybe you're not expecting a response, but you're just shooting a nice little thank you out there of appreciation. Oh, I was thinking about you today. Just thought I'd send you a hello, or maybe just a little heart on a comment that they made on their LinkedIn. Lets them know that you're still kind of connected to them sort of in a nuanced way. But also share the wins. Maybe you won a competition. Maybe you took their advice and used a new library. Maybe you joined a networking group that they recommended and it had this really great impact on your life. Share it with them because even as career advisors, as we work with students every day, when they come back to us and say, oh my goodness, do you know what you have done for me? Do you realize that by you recommending this, this is what happened? It brings joy to our world as well because we win when you win. The mentor wins when you win as well. So know that we're all here to support you. When somebody says yes, they are now connected because they want to help. So you can build long-term professional connection, not just transactional interactions, by applying these to your efforts. And you can think of your own too, be creative in your approach. It'll make you more unique. So after meeting, close the loop. Here's an example of a sample thank you. Hello. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to thank you again for your advice earlier this quarter. I wanted to share a quick update. I applied your suggestions and recently received this result or progress. I really appreciate your willingness to share your experience. Thank you again for your support. These are just guidelines, maybe you're a little more casual in nature. Always keep it professional, but you can also be yourself. It's good to be yourself, to be comfortable in your own skin, to really present as you are. So share the win, it feels good, and everybody loves to be connected to that win. So grow your circle of engagement. You don't need to find one perfect mentor. A mentor can just happen in 30 seconds. A mentor can happen in a line at a coffee shop where somebody says something in passing that triggers an idea, that sends you back to class, that gets you engaged in creating the next creative, outcome in your career. Who knows what it's going to be? A mentor is a piece of information, is a person, is anything that can really trigger that really beautiful response of engagement. So seek guidance from a range of people, use structured programs designed to open doors, and remember that reaching out is a skill you build over time. It's not going to happen all at once, but little by little, step by step, each and every time you meet new people. If you have an interview, you link in with them, so now you're connected to them. If you go to an employer engagement opportunity and they have a panel of individuals, A lot of times they might have a slide up above with their name. So stay after for the Q&A, shake their hand, get their name, and after the meeting, go to LinkedIn and connect with them. By doing that, you're really engaging them. They've just met you face to face. Now you're connected on LinkedIn. Now they have a memory of that happening within 24 hours of the meeting, and now you're connected to them directly. But now you build it. So seek mentors inside and out of your identity group, participate in programs that are meant to open doors. Asking for a mentorship is a learned skill. So I want to go to the second point here. Participate in programs that are meant to open doors. Those are going to be easier to make connections because both parties are there for a reason. You're there to connect, and they're there to connect with you. But also, when you're finding mentors, sometimes it's really easy to want to stay connected to our comfort zone. So make sure that you're going outside of your comfort zone as well. Go into new groups, new territories, areas of interest that you haven't sought out before, because that's really going to expand your network. Yes, of course, stay closely connected to those that you're comfortable with, but go outside of that comfort zone. That comfort zone means that you are growing. A lobster has to shed its shell while it grows in order to really become a larger lobster. So become your larger lobster. I know my examples are funny, but I like to do that because you might remember that lobster shell. It's painful, but growth is good. So grow your circle of engagement, resources, campus programming, career center, faculty advisors, student success programs. Resource type, alumni and professional networks. So alumni mentors, LinkedIn, employer and residence. Resource type, peers and near peers, upper class students, peer mentors, student org leaders. Resource type, experiential opportunities, internships, specialized clubs, competitions, hackathons. And resource type, online resources, career websites, professional communities, industry forums. I know we're doing a lot of repeating, but there's a lot of resources out there, and repetition is sometimes a way for it to stick. So we really want it to stick. But no, you don't have to remember all of these things. You can come back to us through Handshake. We are here to meet with you one-on-one for all of the topics that you ever want to kind of delve into. So career guidance comes from many sources, mix and match to explore and grow your network. And know that we're all here. We're here to hang out. We're here to connect. We're here to grow you and help you get to the next stage. So one of the last things I'm going to bring up, and we're going to have a couple of minutes for Q&A after this, is what are some things to consider when selecting mentors to reach out to? And this is the last topic. And we want to make sure that you know that we want you to work with gravity, not against gravity. And you'll see what I mean in this picture. So selecting your mentor, start at the top. If there's a company that you love, go for that main company that you love. Start there first. Don't start at a smaller company first. First, start with the larger companies. Start with the larger executive if you have connections to them. Don't be afraid to extend to a certain portion of that industry. Sometimes I used to do sales and marketing for many years in San Francisco, and some of the resources that I found happened to come from articles. If I read an article about a company that was doing something really cool, and they mentioned the president of the company and what they were doing, I might follow up to find that individual's name and make a phone call to talk to them. Sometimes that's a little forward, but depending on your ability to communicate, depending on your curiosity, you might just want to reach out to them, maybe even in an email to LinkedIn and say, Dear John Doe, I just read this article about what your company is doing, and it is amazing. It is everything I want to do. Basically, that energy where you have just found somebody who is right on the same wavelength as you, who is exciting you with everything that they're doing, go in there with that energy, write that note, be honest about what you feel about what their company is doing, and see if they respond. 9 times out of 10, you can feel that energy, and those people will respond. They will be excited that you took the initiative. They might say, I'm really busy, but hey, let me connect you to somebody who you can have a conversation with. And they might say, hey, I want you to meet with the student, talk to them, vet them a little bit more. And then if you like them, forward them my way. So take that energy and initiation and going into the top candidates. So targeting professionals in the job function you are most interested in is a great way to discover insight about your job. Job title: hiring managers, supervisors, or managers of other employees are going to have a lot more opportunity to assist you because they have a lot more power in the company. They can take you to the right people, they can introduce you to the right department managers, and there's a lot more connection that can happen in that way. Location: identify people who are located within your local zones or maybe connecting to other cities who might be able to connect you to a city that you're moving to. Shared interest or background. So UC San Diego alumni are more likely to speak to you, but don't be afraid to reach out to direct companies, to veterans, to ethnic heritage groups, to hobby sports and community groups. Know that executive directors are the best to reach out to if you can. Directors or senior hiring managers are great, and representatives and coordinators within your area of interest, even within the entry level zone. So, for instance, many companies have representatives who are coming to campus that are early career recruiters, and those are your best connections because they're specifically here looking for those who have that area of interest. So, with that being said, let's move on to our final resources. And why don't you take it away, Guadalupe, because I'm all talked out.
Fantastic. So today you've heard some best practices for networking and how to find your mentor. So we'd like to conclude today's presentation by sharing some resources that we highly encourage you to take advantage of. First and foremost, you all have the opportunity to schedule a 30-minute one-to-one appointment with a career advisor. Or we also have drop-in advising where it does not require an appointment and you would meet with our designated and trained career peers. And so if you would like to continue this conversation, we would be more than happy to do so with you. Additionally, we encourage you to take advantage to our upcoming career fairs, which is scheduled to happen in the spring. This will be a really great opportunity for you to practice your networking skills, utilize your elevator pitch, get those nerves out, and also have face-to-face contact with employers. Thirdly, we encourage you to continue to take advantage of these professional development workshop and events. So we applaud you for being here today, and we look forward to continuing to seeing you at our future events as well. We also invite you to attend our employer information sessions. We host both virtual and in-person sessions for students, so we highly encourage you to take advantage of those. So then you start to get connected with employers and learn more about the opportunities that they have available. Some employers also will do on-campus interviewing. This typically occurs for positions that they are trying to fill very quickly. The best way to stay informed of these kinds of events will be through Handshake. And then, of course, we have our online resources that are available 24/7, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide to discuss more about the digital resources that are available to you. So first and foremost, Handshake. This will be the primary platform that you will use to continue to learn about our professional development workshops, any upcoming recruiting events, career fairs, and most importantly, job boards. Additionally, Parker Dewey is another tool, is another website that you can use to find micro internships. Micro internships are a little bit different than your regular internship because they are more short term. They can range anywhere between a week to a few months, whereas your regular internships may vary between 3 to 6 months. Additionally, for any students that are in need of career exploration, maybe they want to have a better understanding of what career pathways they can consider with their major, we encourage you to utilize the tool called What Can I Do with This Major? And you'll have access to that tool through the Handshake portal. We also have Career Launch. So Career Launch is basically an assessment tool to help you gain insight into holistic career development. And InterStride is a new portal that is particularly designed for our international students, but is open to all students. And through InterStride, students can find job opportunities where employers are looking to recruit all students and are usually known to be international friendly. And lastly, Big Interview is another tool that you can utilize and will be primarily used for students who need assistance in practicing their interview schools in preparation for an upcoming job interview.
So with that, we would love to see you one-on-one, making some appointments with us. Please feel free to reach out to us through Handshake, and we look forward to working with you in the future and seeing you at all of those networking events.